Greetings, I'm Dr. Pearl John and welcome to the Other 167. We continue our series on tough questions and tough answers, and today we focus on a very important question. Can I rebuild a broken relationship? The first step you're afraid to take, fixing what's broken. That name pops up into your head. Maybe it's a family member, an old friend, a former colleague, and with it comes a wave of what? Regret, anger, sadness, a heavy mix of all three. There is a chasm between you, months or years of silence, a hurt that was never resolved, and the question hangs in the air. Not just what happened, but is it even possible to fix this? Is there a bridge strong enough to cross this divide? The fear is real. What if you reach out and get rejected? What if you try and it makes things worse? We often approach broken relationships like architects of a demolished building, staring at the rubble and feeling overwhelmed. We think reconciliation means magically rebuilding the entire structure to its former glory all at once. This paralyzes us. We forget that every journey begins with a single step and every rebuilt structure starts with clearing it a single stone at a time. We want a guarantee of success before we even try, and since we rarely get one, we never start. Let's look at our anchor. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 18. All this is from God, who reconciled us to himself through Christ and gave us the ministry of reconciliation. This is explosive. Reconciliation is in first our idea. It's God's nature. And he doesn't just call us to be reconciled. He gives us a ministry of reconciliation. It's our job description. But how? Let's break down this ministry with three commissions. 1. Your mission. Initiate, not mediate support. Initiate, not mediate. The scripture reference Matthew chapter 5 verses 23 and 24. If you are offering your gift at the altar and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go first. Be reconciled to your brother and then come and offer your gift. And Romans 12:18, if possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. Notice the action required. You go, you initiate. So far as it depends on you, your mission is not to be the mediator who guarantees the outcome or forces the other person to see things your way. Your mission is simply to be the initiator, the one who takes the first step regardless of the response. God's command is about your obedience, not their response. You are responsible for the attempt, not the outcome. How do you do this? Reframe your goal. The goal of the first step is not full restoration. The goal is faithful obedience. Your prayer shifts from God, make them talk to me, to God, give me the courage to obey you and take the step. I trust you with the result. Secondly, your method. Humility, not history. Humility, not history. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 29. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear. And James 1:19, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. The fastest way to fail at reconciliation is to lead with your version of events. Remember, when you did this, well, I felt this. This immediately puts the other person on the defensive and reignites the battle. Instead, lead with humility. Your first communication should be a disarming gesture, not a deposition. Think of it as diffusing a bomb versus diffusing a bomb. Diffusing it requires expert precision. Blaming the right wire and can still blow up. Diffusing it means removing the explosive entirely. The pride, the blame, the need to be right. You diffuse the situation with grace. How do you do this? Use the APL method in your first reach out. A stands for acknowledge the breach. Hi, state the name, and I said, I've been thinking about you and realized there is a distance between us that makes us sad. 2. Prioritize. Prioritize the relationship. Our relationship is more important to me than the issue that drove us apart. And then the L of APL stands for listen. I know I may have played a part in that, and I'd be willing to understand your perspective if you are ever open to sharing it. This approach owns your part without taking all the blame and invites them without demanding anything. The third is your mindset. Pursue peace, not perfection. Colossians chapter 3 verse 13, bearing with one another, and if one has a complaint against another, forgiving each other, as the Lord has forgiven you, so also you must forgive. And Mark chapter 11 and 25, and whenever you stand praying, forgive if you have anything against anyone, so that your Father also who is in heaven may forgive you your trespasses. You must reconcile yourself to a difficult truth. The relationship may never go back to what it was, and that's okay. Reconciliation isn't about restoring the past. It's about building a new, different, and perhaps healthier future. Your internal forgiveness must be granted unilaterally and immediately as an act of obedience to Christ. The external relationship, building it, is a bilateral process that may take time or may not happen at all. Your peace cannot be contingent on their participation. How do you do this? Practice front-loading forgiveness before you even reach out. Forgive them in your heart before God. Release them from the debt you feel they owe you. This does two things. One, it sets you free regardless of their response. And two, it ensures that if you do reconnect, you are coming from a place of grace, not grievance. You are pursuing the peace of a clear conscience, not the perfection of a pain-free past. Let me pull this to a close. So can you rebuild a broken relationship? Maybe. But you can always take the first step. Your mission is to initiate. Your method is humility. Your mindset is to pursue peace, not perfection. You have been given the ministry of reconciliation, not the ministry of results. Your job is to plant the seed. God's job is to make it grow. Take the step. Not because you are guaranteed a happy ending, but because you serve a God who specializes in resurrection. And that includes things you thought were dead and buried. And this is a challenge. Who is that one person? Right now, commit to praying for them for 1 week. Then ask God for the courage to take that first step. If you are ready, comment Ministry of Reconciliation on as a public comment. You are a bridge builder, and you can build that bridge that you thought could never be built today. Will you do that? And will you share this with someone who you think ought to be building bridge as well? This is Dr. Pearl John signing off, the other 167. Thank you for watching. We continue our series, Tough Questions, Tough Answers, next week. Until then, have a wonderful week ahead. God bless.